Good Sunday morning. Welcome to Sylvia's house. I'm just having a little breakfast here and a coffee, and then I'm going to be on my way. I'm looking forward to this week so much. It's going to be beautiful weather. It's going to be a beautiful part of the trip. I'm going to go through Kakabeka Falls tonight or early tomorrow morning and see that beautiful provincial park there, and make my way all the way up to Kenora next, well, I guess it's 2 weeks from now, but the whole stretch is going to be beautiful, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for joining along. I hope to entertain you and show you a beautiful part of the world. Cheers.
So surprisingly, half of my day is going to be just getting out of Thunder Bay here, which is fine. It's fine. So not only did Shirley feed me really well on, Shirley and James fed me well on Thursday night, but she brought a bunch of groceries, so I'm getting spoiled with sandwiches and fruit and boiled eggs and all kinds of stuff. It's great. Thanks, Shirley. I've had a few people comment on how long it's taken me to get through Ontario, and it's no wonder. It's a huge province. I've already walked about 1,400 kilometers in Ontario, and I've got another 700 or 800 to go. So it's a long haul, more than 11 weeks for sure. Right, that's my Sunday. You can hear the falls. They're not too far away here, but I'm not in the park. I think I'm just outside of the park, still in the town limits or something like that. I'm hoping that's what the case is. Anyway, I'm trying to be really stealthy, and hopefully no one's going to bother me here. It was a good day. It was kind of miserable and cold. I don't think we even got up to 10 degrees, so it was cold with the wind, and yeah, not a whole lot of excitement. As is usually the case when I'm walking out of a city. Wasn't that exciting getting out of the city. In fact, I look forward to it, and I look forward to the forest again here. So that's my Sunday. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good Monday morning. So I'm just packed up here. I'm gonna see if I can't grab a coffee before I leave Kakabeka. If not, no big deal. I'll wander out. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Skies are blue already. The sun's coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Downside from last night, not only I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to be camping near these popular spots because there's just too many people around. Last night I had curious teenagers mountain biking through here, even though I was quite stealthy, and it's just annoying. They didn't mean anything by it, but it's annoying for me. And downside is too that I got my first wood tick of the night, or of the trip, sorry. And if you've ever had a wood tick, you know the worst part about it is once you find one, your skin's crawling for the next couple hours, so it's hard to fall asleep. But that's part of the trip. That's part of living outdoors in the woods here in Canada, and I'll just have to be cognizant from now on. All right, let's get on with Monday. All right, Metropolitan Moose was closed, so it's a caffeine-free day for me. Rainbow. What a change from yesterday. Not only the blue skies and the sunshine's going to warm me up quickly, even though there was a frost overnight. I'm going to get less traffic maybe until this evening, when all the weekend campers are going to be heading back to Thunder Bay. But up until then, it's going to be a fantastic day. So any non-Canadians watching the video here, you might be curious about this weekend. This is Victoria Day weekend. It's a federal holiday, the Monday. So it makes for a long weekend for us. And people just refer to it as the May long weekend. And the importance of it is that it's kind of a kickoff to summer for us. This is the weekend that people go camping, go fishing, go up to their cottage, their cabin, and they spend the weekend there. And this is kind of the official kickoff to it. It's also when the government opens up a lot of the parks, most of the parks nationwide. So yeah, it's a significant weekend, and because of that, it's a very busy travel weekend. There's a lot of people on the roads going back and forth to their cottage or out to the lake, or that sort of thing. So I imagine this afternoon I'm gonna see a lot of traffic heading home to Thunder Bay. How do you like the new hat? My green one, the one that you'd seen in the last few weeks for sure, was just a hat I picked up back in Pembroke in a thrift store, and I only paid $1.50 for it, so no big deal. But it was so loose and floppy that every time a truck went by, it would get blown off. Plus, I needed something that was going to protect me from the sun. So this is probably what you're going to see me in most of the time, until September or so anyway. Up until now it's been the red toque, and I'll probably end with the red toque, but here's Straw Hat Tony. So much climbing today. Climbing away from Lake Superior. It's tough. There have been some busy beavers. And there's their lodge. I just stopped and put on my jacket here. It got a little cool, and saw that there was a tick that had gone for a ride with me all day. I guess I'm gonna have to start checking myself pretty frequently. All right, there's my camp. That's my holiday Monday. As I had expected, the traffic was insane. Car after car after car after truck after camper after everything. Yeah. And I got actually a pretty sweet spot here. I know you're going to be able to hear the highway a little bit, but honestly, it's a pretty quiet spot. I'm happy. I'm just kind of near the junction of Highway 11 and 17. And all day long I was kind of wondering why my feet were sore, and then I realized I had to walk on asphalt almost the whole day. Then I got here and I checked my map, which I don't do very often, and I realized that I've gone 40k today. So 40k on asphalt, it's no wonder that my feet are a little tired, a little sore, but it was a good day. Even in spite of the traffic and sore feet, it was a good day, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Like I said, a couple more days and I should be, what's today, Monday? So probably Thursday morning I'll be pulling into Uppsala, and yeah, I'll have breakfast there. I'll refuel, restock, and make my way west. All right, talk to you in the morning. Cheers. All right, good morning, good Tuesday morning. I'm just about to tear down my tent here, and I'm going to hit the road. A little overcast this morning, but it's supposed to be nice later on, as far as I've been told. And whatever, I'll roll with it. Considering how close I am to the highway, the noise wasn't bad overnight, and it was a great location, easy access, private. So yeah, I wish I had more of these. It'd be nice if I had all of this all the way to Manitoba. Some noise. You deal with it. All right, let's get on with today. So I got a good question the other day that I'm sure a lot of people are curious about, but are uncomfortable asking. And I was asked, well, you know, what about washroom? What do I do when I gotta go when I'm in all these isolated places? Well, honestly, the world is my toilet. And you know, honestly, once you let go of the stigma of you know, pooping outside, it's actually very comfortable and freeing. It's not a big deal. And you know, thankfully I haven't had any issues where I've had to go suddenly and people have been around. I've always been lucky that way, and I haven't had any intestinal problems, you know. But on a trip this long, I am sure that at one point I'm going to run into some troubles, and I guess I'll cross that bridge when the time comes. But yeah, simple answer: I always bury my waste. I think that's just responsible, not just for the animals, but for other people. And yeah, it's just a good thing to do, but it's easy. I forgot to mention it yesterday, but that was the first day that I walked without seeing any snow in the forest and no ice on lakes. So first day, May the 23rd. You know, I love walking, obviously, and I enjoy it every time I'm out doing it. But there are some days that I'm walking along here, I won't lie to you, I'd rather be doing something else. And today's one of those days. It's just a sunny day, and it's very quiet. I won't lie to you, I'd rather be sitting on a patio somewhere with a bunch of friends, drinking some frosty beers and laughing a lot. But here I am, I'm walking. So that's two cyclists that passed me today, or that I passed today, and neither one of them returned my hello. Weird, just cycled on by. Oh well. Anyway, it's got to be a little unnerving. This is the size of the shoulder that they're riding on, and there are a lot of transport trucks going by. Doesn't sound like fun. I know I've done it in the past. Now that I'm walking, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I know I've been climbing a lot since I left Thunder Bay. That's why. It's a very different landscape. Good Wednesday morning. Sorry I didn't sign off last night. I had an interesting afternoon where I ran into a spot probably about 10 kilometers long that I couldn't find a way to get off the highway and find camp. So I found something eventually, long after I was tired, and it was not pretty. But as always, it worked. I slept, found another tick that kept me up for an hour or so. But here we go. It's another Wednesday. It's going to be better. So maybe you get a bit of an idea of what I was dealing with last night. You know, it's a long, straight stretch here. We got a railway line on one side of the highway and a big drainage ditch on the other, and there just wasn't any access to get off of it. And you know, interesting thing is that when I say I get tired, it's usually my feet. 99% of the time, my feet are the first thing to get tired on me, and they just start getting sore, and yeah, it's time to give up with them. They need a rest. You know, it's rare that it's any other parts of me that get tired. So, you know, if it wasn't for my feet getting sore and tired at the end of the day, maybe I'd be able to crank out 40 or 50 in a day. I don't know. But anyway, enough whining. It is what it is. It wasn't the perfect night. but I'm on the right side of the dirt. That's all that counts, right? Still walking through the never-ending swamp, but I'm in a better mood. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is what it is. It was not a great night, but today's got to be better, right? So obviously not out of Ontario, but into another time zone. And you know, if only I would have had another hour and a half of walking left in me last night, I could have been at this picnic area. You can see people are camped out here, and there's water, washroom. Oh well. I'm gonna stop complaining about last night's camp. It was fine. It was fine, and I'm on the road and I'm doing good. All right. I'm seeing a lot of sandhill cranes again today for some reason. They seem to love the rail bed. They fly along it. It's interesting. On these really dull days, I get a lot of time to think. And sometimes that can be a good thing. Most days it's a good thing. Yeah. So hopefully you'll be able to see that that's a bear on the tracks, you know, maybe 100, 150 meters from where I am right now. Yeah. You know, I sat for a good 10-15 minutes on the side of the road there having a snack and a little rest, and that bear was there the entire time. So yeah, they must have spilled some grain on the tracks or something. Hopefully it doesn't get hit. All right, so I'm all set up. It's just starting to sprinkle a little bit of rain. So I'm going to get tucked in here quick. It was a good day. Uneventful, kind of flat, dull, but it was good. And I just had a fantastic bite to eat at a little mom and pop motel / restaurant down the road. It was fantastic. The people were great. Might have been the best burger I've had in a very long time, if not all year. And they were great. So I'm gonna get tucked in here. That's it for tonight. I did mention the bear that I had seen a little while ago, and just up the trail here a bit there's some fresh bear scat, but I'm playing it safe, so don't worry, I'm all good. All right, talk to you in the morning. Good Thursday morning. Sorry, a little bit of noise again, but it's been quiet. This is a great place that I found off the highway, and I'm real close to Uppsala. I'm going to head back to the same place that I was at last night. I'm going to have some breakfast there. I'm going to get my groceries, and then be on my way. I've got 3 days into Ignace, and I think that's the only place I'm going to have services for 3 days for 108 kilometers or 110, something like that. So yeah, looking forward to today. I'm looking forward to breakfast most of all. All right, talk to you in a bit. Fantastic people at the Black Spruce Motel there. Yeah, had a great conversation with them. Very nice couple, and their daughter, the three of them there. And they gave me some fruit and paid for my breakfast. It was, yeah, it was amazing. Wonderful. So, highly recommended if you're looking for a place when you pass through Uppsala here. It's a great place to eat. I imagine their motel is impeccably clean and well looked after. So, yeah, thumbs up. Well, that was short-lived. I just discovered that I've lost my hat again. has hat number 3 that I've lost on this trip, and I barely wear them. Yeah, now I won't have a chance to find another until I hit Dryden or Kenora maybe. Oh well. Isn't birdsong just a great part of every morning? I love it. You know, I'm still amazed by the people at that little restaurant. You know, quite often you get into these places, especially in the remote areas, and the place is neglected, not looked after well, and they know they can get away with it because there's no competition, there's nothing around. But back at this Black Spruce Motel, you could see that they took pride in their restaurant and what they were serving. The food was excellent, it was presented well, it was very clean, and they were really welcoming. It was almost like being invited into someone's home, you know. And then to top it all off, not only were they incredibly generous and paid for my breakfast and gave me some fruit for the road, but the conversation was interesting, and they were open and welcoming, and yeah, it's great. Like I said last week, people are good. People are good. I like that. I like experiencing it. Here's the perfect palace on a lake. It breaks my heart to see these. I've probably seen a couple hundred now on my trip so far, you know, and often it's the whole family. It's not just one person or a couple. Children too. It's sad. It happens, but it's sad. The names there say Rick, Tam, and Bailey is the child. Yeah. You know, when it comes to the whole thing about losing hats, I've never been a hat guy my whole life. I just don't wear them very often. I can't say I'm comfortable in them most of the time, with the exception of toques. And if you're not a Canadian, that's what we call them here, T-O-Q-U-E. It's not a wool hat or a beanie, it's a toque. Every Canadian knows that. But yeah, with the exception of a toque, I really have never been a hat kind of guy, and that could be why I'm a little more absent-minded with them. This time around with this straw hat, what had happened is I tied it to my backpack, and I just had it hanging on a carabiner, so the straw must have torn or something like that. And had I realized earlier, I would have picked it up, but too late. So clearly all of the locals around here say Uppsala. Yeah, and I was thinking about it. The only reason I thought Uppsala was because I've watched Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, and that's the way Daniel Craig says it. So I'd be curious, if you're Swedish or you can speak Swedish, let me know. Do you put the emphasis on the first day or the second when you're referring to the city in Sweden? Yeah, curious. Alrighty, that's a goodbye to Uppsala, and now 3 days into Ignace. I've got full belly and food bags filled. I'm good to go. So onward. The buff will have to do until I get a proper hat, I guess. You know, people often ask me, gee Tony, what are you doing with your time all day long? Are you singing? What are you doing? And the truth of the matter is, I like being inside my own head. It's some people don't like that. I do. You know, and I think about a lot of things. You know, sometimes I'm thinking about old relationships, you know, lovers, partners that I've had in the past, things we could have done differently, bullets that I've dodged, you know, in some circumstances. Other times I'm thinking about my future, what I'm going to do when I get done with this this adventure, what kind of job I'm going to pick up, and things I want to build, projects I want to create. I love doing that kind of stuff. So I think about these things too, but mostly I'm thinking about the books that I want to write. I think about the book I want to write about this journey. It's not going to be just a journal. It's not going to be an autobiographical tale of my journey. That's not what I intend. I want to write something that's going to be, dare I say, maybe a little philosophical, things that I've learned, lessons I've learned along the way, and how I can put them to good use in my life. So yeah, I think about that. That's probably the thing that consumes my thoughts the most, is the book that I want to write about this trip. But I also love writing creatively, fiction, and I often think about stories and the characters and development of the characters and all that sort of thing. That consumes a big part of my thinking time while I'm walking, and sometimes my head's just flying around. I'm thinking about all kinds of random things, people that I've met along the way, and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's the bulk of my activity while I'm walking. Maybe I'm just not good at multitasking, but I like being in my own head. So imagine if you're not comfortable being inside your own head with your own thoughts, especially for days on end or a week at a time without really much for human interaction, this might not be the kind of adventure for you. Then you should stick with something a little more social, the Camino, or the PCT, or whatever. Something that's a little more social, where you're with people that you've got that distraction, or whatever you want to call it. But I like this. I like it a lot. Just met a very cool young cyclist from a little town close to Sherbrooke, Quebec, Antoine. Yeah, it was nice meeting him. Had a good, nice chat, and he's on his way again. He's doing really well. Came from Vancouver. Look at that, more good vibes. A fella from Windsor named Mitch pulled over. He saw me a month ago, he said, walking. Saw me again, so he had to pull over. He gave me an apple and a couple apples and this muffin. Yeah, I love it. This is kindness is great. It's so good. If an apple a day keeps the doctor away, 2 a day must make him obsolete. All right, thanks, Mitch. That's a great apple. That's my Thursday. It was a good day, surprisingly. It didn't rain at all, but it's been miserable and cold and windy all day. But pardon me, but it was still a fantastic day, and I think a lot of it has to do with my mood. The people that really made it great. It started with breakfast. People at the restaurant were fantastic. The food was great. And I met a couple of wonderful ladies in Uppsala that were interesting, and we had some good conversation. Then I met Antoine, the cyclist. Again, nice conversation. And then to top it off, meeting Mitch here and getting those snacks, and he was just real friendly. And all of these little random acts of kindness just go so far. I don't think people realize the impact that they're having, not just on me, but on the world, because then I'm that much more likely to spread the love. It's great. But anyway, that's my Thursday. And how's that for a sweet camp? Gorgeous here. As always, you probably can hear a little bit of the highway, but I'm quite a ways away. I'm at least 200, 300 meters away, and it's going to be a quiet night here. I'm looking forward to it. All right, talk to you in the morning. Good morning, world. I had such a delicious sleep last night. It was perfect. It's very moist around here, though. I guess that's why the moss is growing so well. Yeah, I had a lot of condensation in the tent. My sleeping bag is damp, and it was raining on me inside the tent a little bit this morning. But it is beautiful, and it's clear skies. It's going to be a spectacular day. And I've got nothing ahead of me.
except a lot of walking today. And I'm actually looking forward to it. So let's get on with today. You know, I haven't set an alarm this trip, and I've just been waking with the birds, and it's obvious here after this time change I'm getting up an hour earlier on my clock, but it's the same time for me and the birds. Yeah, it's nice to get in that kind of rhythm, you know. I haven't had double bubble since maybe 20 years. So the lady in the general store back in Uppsala had it, so I tried it out. So it tastes just as good as I remember. Terrible for my teeth, I'm sure. But blowing bubbles with a beard isn't a good idea. So I was just told I've got 40 kilometers of road construction ahead of me here. So there might not be much for footage for the rest of today and most of tomorrow, but it's still pretty around here. All right, that's my camp. That's my Friday. It's just an old logging road here. I don't think anybody's been on it for quite a while, so I'm going to have some privacy and I won't be disturbed. And I'm a couple hundred meters from the highway, and you can hear the train, but it's very far in the distance, so should be a quiet night. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to get some rain overnight and maybe tomorrow. It just seems like things have changed. It's definitely getting darker in the sky. So yeah, it was Good Friday. Lots of construction, so not that exciting. And unfortunately, somebody got into an accident the other side of Uppsala, and the highway was closed for a couple hours. So it was quiet for me, no traffic, but you know, I feel bad for whoever was wrapped up in that accident. I hope no one was killed. But anyway, that's my Friday. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good Saturday morning. I'm all packed up here, and you can see from the sky it looks like it's probably going to rain today. It's mild though, it's warm. But yeah, I'm going to head down the road. It's probably not going to be a very exciting day, but got to get to where I'm going, right? You know, 10 minutes after I signed off last night, I just finished saying that looked like there hadn't been anybody there for quite a while. A pickup truck pulled in, parked opposite me. They idled there for 5 minutes or so, and then they turned around and left. So I don't know if they saw me and I was not a nuisance, or if they missed me at all. Probably didn't see me, I don't think. But anyway, it was interesting. Just met an old couple cycling across. They started in Nanaimo and they're going to go to Cape Spear, Newfoundland. It was yeah, it was a nice little chat. It's good to see that people that advanced, I guess. I say from my perspective as a young guy, that they're out cycling and seeing the country. You know, when it comes to the whole age thing, some people might be curious. No big deal. I'm 57 years old right now, and honestly, if I don't look in the mirror, I don't feel it. I don't know what 57 is supposed to feel like, but I'm sure I'm just as fit as I was, you know, the first time I walked my Camino, the first Camino, and that was 11 years ago. Even before that, maybe I'm a healthier weight right now. I feel strong. I feel vibrant. I feel good. Yeah, as far as that goes, I don't think I've changed at all. You know, the big difference though is when I look in the mirror and I think, who is that old man? And little subtle things like my hips bugging me when I'm sleeping on the ground. That never used to happen before, but I mean, that happens to people in their 20s and 30s, and that they run into troubles like that. So generally speaking, I feel young. Yeah, it's age. I know you hear the cliche, age is just a number, but I'm living proof it really hasn't changed my life. I don't think I've yeah, it hasn't changed my life.
So besides seeing that moose earlier on in the day, it's kind of a dull day. There's not much to see here. But if I push myself a little bit, I'm energetic enough, I should be able to make it into Ignace today instead of tomorrow morning like I had anticipated. The catch-22 is that the grocery store closes at 6, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it quite by then. So let's hope, because it might be closed tomorrow, Sunday. All right, so that's my Saturday. I made it a little early into Ignace. Another excited, bored, whatever you want to call it, police officer, young guy. He was very nice. I don't know if he was concerned about me or worried I was some kind of troublemaker. But anyway, he gave me a ride the last 6 or 7 kilometers into Ignace. I got into the grocery store long before it closed. And there's only 2 places to eat in town. It's a tavern here and Subway, and I am not a fan of Subway. So I'm gonna wait around. The tavern's gonna open up in half an hour or so and get a bite to eat, and then I've still got lots of energy after I eat and maybe have a pint. I'm going to head out of town a couple kilometers and find a place to camp. So that's my Saturday. That's this week. It was a good week. It was not that eventful, but it was good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exciting all the time. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of great interactions with people, met a lot of great people, and yeah, I'm thankful for that. That's the important stuff, I think, along this journey. It's wonderful to see all the animals and the sweeping landscapes and all of that, but really the pleasure for me, the joy of this trip comes from great people, and I've had a lot this week, so it was a good week. All right, I will talk to you again next week. Thanks for joining along, and please join me again next week. It's going to be more excitement.